Here's a question for you. Remember Tyler Durden from Fight Club? That energy, that fire in your chest, that feeling like you could punch through a wall with your bare hands just because you actually wanted to be alive. You'd wake up in the morning and your body was just screaming for movement, for action, for women, for conquest. When's the last time you felt anything remotely close to that? A year ago? 5 years? You can't even remember? Yeah, exactly. And you know what? That's not old age. That's not time catching up with you. It's not karma. It's not fate. It's not your genetics. Your grandfather was splitting firewood at 60 and had 8 kids. He didn't have age-related decline. He just didn't have what you have, and you do. 13 things that right now, while you're watching this, are quietly and methodically draining your testosterone straight down the drain. They're sitting in your kitchen, tucked in your glove box, stacked in your medicine cabinet. Some of them you're taking on a doctor's prescription, completely convinced you're doing the right thing. Some of them you paid $200 for yourself. Today we're calling them out by name. No sugarcoating, no boring medical talk. This is a straight up debriefing, full, unfiltered. Don't forget to hit like and make sure you subscribe. There's a lot more eye-opening stuff ahead. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, insulin resistance. You went to the doctor, got your labs done, blood sugar came back normal, 5.5 milligrams per deciliter. The doctor printed out the results and said, everything looks great, see you next year. You walked out feeling like you had it all under control, but insulin? That's not part of the standard panel. You have to ask for it separately. And here's the problem. Your blood sugar can be perfectly normal while your insulin is through the roof. That's called insulin resistance. That's prediabetes. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 American adults is in this state, 84 million people, and most of them have absolutely no idea. What does chronically high insulin do to your body? It triggers glycation. That's when sugar literally sticks to proteins, like caramel coating on nuts. Except instead of nuts, it's your nerve endings. Picture this, your brain is screaming into the radio, go, go, go. And on the other end, silence. Wire's been cut, not from outside, from inside, by the sugar you ate in that Dunkin' muffin last week. What to do? Next time you're at the doctor, say 4 words, check my HbA1c. It shows your average blood sugar over the past 3 months. Not today, the last 3 months of your real life. 2 words that could change the next 20 years. Reason number 2, sleep, apnea and snoring. You know someone who snores so loud the walls vibrate. Maybe it's you, maybe it was your college roommate, maybe it's your dad, and everyone around them laughed. Quote 5. Now let me tell you what's actually happening to that person every single night. Sleep apnea is when you stop breathing in your sleep. Not once, not twice. In severe cases, 10, sometimes hundreds of times a night. Every single time your brain and tissues aren't getting oxygen. That's hypoxia. Your body is in emergency mode. Every night, while the person thinks they're, quote, 6. Now here's a fact most people don't know, and it changes everything. Nighttime erections aren't random, and they're not just a fun bonus in the morning. They're a built-in maintenance program that runs automatically during sleep. With sleep apnea, there's no breathing. The program doesn't run. Tissues slowly get replaced by fibrous, scar-like material. The organ stiffens from the inside. It's an irreversible process that stretched out over so much time you didn't even notice until it was too late. Add to that the nighttime cortisol. Instead of recovering, your body is fighting for its life all night, pumping out stress hormones. Forget testosterone. It's all about survival. If you snore, get tested for sleep apnea. Not tomorrow, book it today. It's an SOS signal you've been ignoring for years, and you're paying for it with interest, the kind your body charges. Reason number 3, heated seats seen you know. January, 15 below in Chicago, or 20 below in Minneapolis, or just a damp gray morning in Seattle. You step outside, jump in the car, And the first thing you do is hit the heated seat button. 3 minutes later, you're warm, cozy, the leather seats got you wrapped up. It's one of those small luxury moments of adult life, the thing you paid extra for when you bought the car, and you don't regret a dime. Now, a quick anatomy lesson. Nature placed the testicles externally in the scrotum for one single reason. They need to be 2 to 3 degrees cooler than core body temperature, not because nature is quirky, because at body temperature, sperm production and testosterone synthesis are simply impossible. Biological fact, proven over millions of years of evolution. Disrupt the temperature, the factory shuts down. Heated seats warm up gradually, right on target. They create a greenhouse effect in exactly the most critical location. Temperature in all the wrong places climbs past the safe limit within 10 minutes, not an hour, 10 minutes into your morning commute. You're slowly, comfortably, and expensively cooking the very thing that produces your primary hormone. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Turn the seat on while you're scraping ice off the windshield. The second you get in, turn it off. Reason number 4, sitting all day. Something a little uncomfortable. We are a generation that rides an Uber to the office, sits in a desk chair for 8 hours, sits at the dinner table for another hour, parks on the couch in front of Netflix for 3 hours, then back in the car. Total 12, sometimes 14 hours a day, sitting. This is the new normal. This is a catastrophe for your hormonal system. And here's exactly why. When you sit, you mechanically cut off blood flow to the pelvic region. Blood stagnates. Nitric oxide, the compound without which an erection is physically impossible because it's what dilates the blood vessels, stops being produced. The prostate suffocates from lack of circulation and oxygen. But here's what most people don't know, and this is the really wild part. The large muscles of your legs, your quads, glutes, hamstrings, aren't just muscles. They're constantly sending signals to your endocrine system. We're active, we're moving, we're hunting, we need hormones. When the muscle stops working, the signal disappears. Your body concludes we're a houseplant, just sitting, going nowhere. Why does a houseplant need testosterone? Why does it need to reproduce? And it just switches the function off. No longer needed. What to do? Get up every hour, do 10 squats right at your desk. Looks weird, works perfectly. A standing desk isn't a hipster trend, it's literally your cheapest weapon against erectile dysfunction. Walk during phone calls. Otherwise, your corner office chair will become the most expensive wheelchair in the world, with really great lumbar support. Reason number 5, chronic stress. There's one thing American men do better than anyone on the planet. Keep everything bottled up. Boss is a jerk. Bottle it. 30-year mortgage. Bottle it. Evenings full of anxiety, but stone-faced. Family drama, work deadlines, bills, all of it internalized, all of it swallowed, all of it with the look of a guy who has everything under control. Now, let me tell you what's happening inside your body the whole time. Cortisol and testosterone are biological antagonists. Like Democrats and Republicans sharing a kitchen on election day, they cannot peacefully coexist. One goes up, the other goes down. This isn't a metaphor. It's biochemistry documented in thousands of studies. Why? Evolution. 100,000 years ago, when a saber-toothed tiger was chasing you, your body made a simple call: shut down everything non-essential, redirect every resource toward survival. Blood to the legs, run, adrenaline, cortisol, maxed out, testosterone, libido, reproductive function, minimal. Why think about reproduction when you're about to be eaten? It worked. Back then, the problem is there's no tiger anymore. There are 30 unread Slack messages, Zoom calls, the mortgage, the kids, the job, traffic, and the news. And your body responds to all of it exactly the same way it would respond to a saber-toothed tiger, because it doesn't know the difference. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for relaxation, recovery, and arousal, never gets switched on. You're not broken. You just never truly relax. And at the end of the day, those two things are the same. The only difference is the speed at which you get there. Reason number 6, laptop on your lap, the couch, Netflix, MacBook Pro on your lap. Evening after work, you're watching something, working at the same time, scrolling through something else, multitasking, comfortable, modern life, 30-second physics lesson. After this, you will never put a laptop on your lap again. Your testicles need to be 2 to 3 degrees cooler than your core body temperature. That's not optional, and it's not a suggestion. It's a biological requirement without which the entire process of sperm production and testosterone synthesis is impossible. Nature placed that part of the body outside the main thermal loop for exactly this reason: a hot processor. Modern laptop processors under load create a heat zone right on your lap. Through your clothes, right there, temperature in the critical zone climbs past the safe limit within minutes. The protein that makes up sperm cells starts to denature. Leydig cells, the ones that produce testosterone, go into heat shock. All of this happening in real time while you're watching season 3 of whatever on Netflix. You're literally cooking your future and your hormones under a streaming show. Don't go anywhere. We've covered 6 reasons your mojo is tanking. It gets harder from here, because now we're stepping into territory where you don't just not suspect the danger, you're actively paying for it, thanking your doctor, and genuinely believing you're doing the right thing. Let's go. Reason number 7, painkillers, ibuprofen, Advil, Aleve, aspirin, the American man, and his pill for everything. Back hurts after the gym, pop one. Morning headache, pop one. Tweaked something at work, pop one. It's fast, it's cheap, it's over the counter, and it's in every home. Harmless, right? Here's what's happening on the inside. Ibuprofen and its cousins are NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. They work by blocking prostaglandins, signaling molecules. That's why the pain goes away. But when you block the pain signaling mechanism, you also block the blood filling mechanism. Journal of Urology Research, regular NSAID use raises the risk of erectile dysfunction by 38%. 38. And what's especially brutal, you're taking them exactly when you want to feel better. When something hurts, you pop one, you feel better, that evening things seem off. Your body in that moment is saying, sorry, we're in painkiller mode right now. All other functions suspended. Reason number 8, heartburn meds, spicy food, greasy food, chase it with coffee, then beer, then heartburn, Tums, Pepcid, Prilosec, Nexium. Every American pharmacy is a temple to these drugs. They sell by the billions of doses every year. They're normal, and a lot of them are a quiet problem that almost nobody talks about. Some ulcer and gastritis medications, especially older ones like cimetidine and ranitidine, raise prolactin levels. That's the hormone of nursing mothers. In men, it acts like a brake on the entire sexual system. High prolactin blocks testosterone, kills libido. In severe cases, causes gynecomastia, breast growth in a man. You're putting out the fire in your stomach, but you're also putting out the fire in your pants. The newer drugs, omeprazole, pantoprazole, are less aggressive in this regard, but long-term use of any proton pump inhibitor blocks zinc absorption. And zinc is one of the key minerals for testosterone synthesis. Chronic heartburn is a signal that something's off with your diet and lifestyle, not a sign that you're running low on Prilosec. Reason number 9, mouthwash, minty fresh, fresh breath. Listerine kills 99.9% of germs. That's literally what it says on the bottle. That's exactly what it does. And that's exactly the problem. Here's a fact that'll surprise you. Nitric oxide, the compound without which an erection is physically impossible. because it's what dilates penile blood vessels and fills them with blood, isn't only produced in the blood vessel endothelium. Part of it is produced in your mouth. Specialized bacteria on your tongue convert nitrates from food into nitrites, which then become nitric oxide. Powerful antiseptic mouthwash kills those bacteria, all of them. The bad ones and the good ones. The chain breaks. Research shows regular use of strong mouthwash raises blood pressure and reduces bioavailable nitric oxide. Your kiss tastes great, but things might not get past the kiss, and not for romantic reasons. Reason number 10, air fresheners. Little pine tree hanging in your car. Auto spray freshener in the bathroom, quote, 10 cent, quote, 11 candle in the living room. Cozy, comfortable, fresh, a chemical assault on your endocrine system. Running 24/7. Most synthetic fragrances contain phthalates, the same ones used in perfumes to make the scent last. They make the fragrance stick around, and they make your erections unreliable. Air fresheners are volatile. They're specifically designed to spread through the air. You're inhaling them constantly. They enter your bloodstream through your lungs, bypassing the liver, which could otherwise neutralize them. Direct delivery to target organs. In the car, it's especially brutal. Small enclosed space. The pine trees dangling right in front of your face. You're doing 40 minutes each way every morning and every evening. 80 minutes a day inside a chemical cloud. Swap synthetic for essential oil sources. 5 or 6 drops on a wooden diffuser, and that's plenty, or just crack the window. Boring? Sure, but your blood vessels will thank you. Reason number 11, vaping and e-cigarettes. 95% safer than regular cigarettes. It's just vapor, no tar, no carbon monoxide, no carcinogens. Heard it before. We know, that's exactly what the ads say. Now, the biology, no ads. Vaping is a concentrated hit to the endothelium. The nicotine in cartridges is often salt-based. It absorbs instantly and hits your blood vessels with such a violent spasm that they clamp down like a wire, faster and harder than a regular cigarette. But that's just the start. The flavorings, diacetyl, and all the other yummy stuff in your strawberry cheesecake cartridge, when heated, turn into powerful aldehydes. They destroy the inner lining of your blood vessels, literally. Congratulations. You just chose a more fragrant way to turn your junk into a big bratwurst. But now it smells like mango. Reason number 12, cycling. Hold on, don't click away. I know what you're thinking. What, cycling? That's healthy? That's cardio? That's Tour de France. Exactly. And that's exactly why, listen closely, if you're riding 30 minutes in the park on Sunday, you're fine. That's not what this is about. This is about men who are serious cyclists, who put in hundreds of miles a week, who spend hours at a stretch on a narrow, aggressive saddle in compression lycra. Here's the anatomy of the problem. Running along the perineum, the area between your legs, are the main arteries and nerves that supply the penis. The pudendal nerve, the pudendal artery, they run literally through the center. When you sit on a narrow sports saddle, you're putting your full body weight directly on that zone, compressing the nerve, compressing the artery, cutting off blood supply to the tissue. Ever felt numbness after a long ride? Tingling where there shouldn't be? That's not your leg falling asleep. That's your nerves screaming. Or chronic compression leads to nerve fibrosis. The nerve dies. The artery scars over. Slowly, quietly, irreversibly. You'll win your amateur club championship, but you won't even make it to the starting line in the bedroom. Reason number 13, sauna and steam room. Russian tradition, Scandinavian tradition, Finnish tradition, picking up steam in American gyms and spas too. Underscore, quote, underscore 1-5, great. But there's one specific measurable biological catch. Spermatogenesis is a process that requires cool conditions. 93 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the sweet spot. In a sauna, it's 176, 194, sometimes 212 degrees. You're sticking yourself in an oven, whole body. One good sauna session can drop sperm quality for 3 to 4 months. Not 3 to 4 days, 3 to 4 months. Sperm becomes oversized, misshapen, non-viable. Leydig cells in thermal shock reduce testosterone production. The sauna is great for your skin, for relaxing, for your mental health, but for your reproductive health, it's Hiroshima. All right, guys, feels like you can't do anything at all. Can't breathe, can't eat, can't sit, can't move, can't rest. But here's the truth. Your body isn't made of glass. It's not some delicate instrument that breaks from one wrong move. It's a powerful, resilient, self-healing system. If you enjoyed this breakdown, you know what to do. Hit like right now, not later, now. The YouTube algorithm is just as ruthless as cortisol, except it comes from outside. Without likes, the channel doesn't survive. Subscribe, see you next time. And may everything in your life stand tall except your problems.